Welcome to the Face to Face. I'm your host, Genevieve Kyle-Lefebvre. The Face to Face is a bilingual series of videos recorded in Coquitlam. We acknowledge that Coquitlam is located on the ancestral and unceded territory of the Coquitlam. We thank the Coquitlam people who continue to live on these lands and care for them along with the water and all that is above and below. Today we're welcoming on the Face to Face Carlie Gollner. Carlie is the founder of the Vancouver Women in Business here in the Tri-Cities. Welcome, Carlie.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you. So what inspired you to create a Women in Business group?
Well, I had been in real estate for almost 4 years, working with my dad. I actually gotten into real estate throughout COVID, so it was a very different experience for me. A lot of it when I first started was working from home. We didn't have open houses. I couldn't really connect with anybody from my office, any clients, nothing like that. So I was really keen to get back into it once COVID ended. And I really wanted to connect with people who are like me in business. So I started the group because I had been a part of a lot of online groups, but I noticed that nothing was happening and no one was really interacting with each other in these groups, especially in person. So I wanted to connect with people that would kind of be like me and help me grow my business and me do the same thing in return.
Okay. And in the community, also, were you looking for like to meet new people in business that can exchange, give tips and tricks, support each other?
Yeah, that was like kind of the whole idea of it, and especially the in-person, because like I said before, I noticed that there's a lot of people exchanging these tips online, but I didn't find that to be super personable. So I think it's just like actually creating the connection with people, especially as like a mom, creating the connection and understanding, and then being able to feed off of each other so we can all grow our businesses in that way.
Did you also want to do something a bit different? Because I know you partnered with your dad.
Yeah.
And now there's new ways of doing things.
Yeah, exactly. My dad's very like door knocky, cold calling. He's been doing it for 40 years. So I knew that like for me, I had done those tactics and they work, but it wasn't really making me happy because that's not who I am. I really enjoy connecting with others. So that's kind of why I did it, is because I wanted to build my business in a different way. Because I know that like you said, Genevieve, people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So that's kind of how I wanted to build my business. So I created the group to build my business, but also to build it in a way that made me feel good.
I gotta say, I liked what you did because I joined the group at the beginning and I went from the first meetup. I think it was at Hardbean in Port Moody.
Yes.
Am I right?
I believe that was the first one. Yeah.
Yes. So I was there and I liked, like you just said, people do business with people they love. And create a community of women in business to support each other, it's very important. I feel there's not a lot of space where you can actually safely talk about your business without sounding silly or pitchy. And we need to make the economy of the Tri-City grow. We need to talk about business. We need to have a space for that. So I don't know if you remember, Carlie, but I went a couple times and then I reached out to you and I said, I just finished a project. And if you want, I'd be more than happy to help you to grow this initiative. So you did think about it.
Yeah, I did. I did think about it because I wasn't sure if I wanted to bring somebody else on, because I just know that sometimes when there's too many hands in the pot, things can get. But I also know that with my own business that like I'm great with connections, but sometimes with the admin and the posting and all that stuff, it gets to be a lot. And I know that you're really amazing with that kind of stuff. So I feel like our yin and yang kind of fit together. And yeah, it's been a really great addition to have you for sure.
Yeah. So I have to say now we're working on this beautiful group of women together. We're working on bringing them together. We're creating events monthly and sometimes even more than monthly. Carlie, can you tell us what's coming in the next months?
Okay, so I mean, we obviously all have a lot of coffee dates coming up. Those we just do whenever we can fit them in. We're going to do a 1-year celebration, which is going to be in the middle of November because it's been 1 year since we started our group, which is going to be awesome. And then hopefully we'll be able to support some other people within our own group, like doing cooking classes with Valentine or other people that are within our group who also want to host events as well with what they do.
And how I've noticed people reach out to us. So if people are listening to us right now and they want to host an event or they want to join the group, so how can they do that?
Yeah, so they can go on Facebook and they can just search up in the search bar Vancouver Women in Business Networking Meetups. I know it's a little lengthy, but I wanted to like really make it about networking, so that's why I put that in there. And then they can just request to join the group. They do have to fill in a little bit about their business. The only reason that I did this is because I want to make sure that people actually have a business and I can go check them out and that they are legitimate. They do live in Vancouver. They are a woman who is running a business. And then I will allow them in the group and they can go from there.
We had an idea at one point to limit the group, to have people that are engaged and people that are not engaged. Then we can leave. They can like leave and give the space to someone else, because I think having people that are engaged is the key. Instead of, you don't need a 10,000 person on a group, then someone posts and nobody even answers anything.
You don't
So
really know.
why did you think that was a good idea to limit the group?
Yeah, I think it was your idea to limit the group. But I think it's just basically because we want to know we actually know each other. And when people start to repeat and they start to see these same people posting and the same people coming to events, then they actually get to know them. Versus most groups that are online or that are 10,000 plus, there's lots of other business groups. Yeah, like you said, people will post and they might get one or two comments. You don't really know that person. They could be from Victoria. They could be from somewhere in Vancouver, and they might get a couple tips, but not enough to really trust those tips and not enough to really make a connection with that person. Maybe it's through online, but I feel like in person doesn't happen that often. And then when we're cutting it off, it's just so that people can engage and see those same people regularly.
So you called the group Vancouver Women in Business, but the group is completely located in the Tri-Cities and the event are also located in Tri-Cities. And I think the idea behind the name of the group is we don't want to exclude people. There's few people around, they're also welcome. Am I right when I say that?
Yeah, like I didn't want to just like cut it off completely, because maybe there's people who are from Vancouver, but they do business in the Tri-Cities, or they have their businesses in the Tri-Cities and they live in Vancouver, so who knows? But all of our events are here, so everything is based out of here. I personally have not really met anyone who has come from Vancouver. So I have thought about even changing the name, but I think now our name is so recognizable to people that it doesn't really make sense to change it, right?
Carlie, can you share with us a few success stories through the meetups that we had in the last year?
Yeah, sure. I think that a lot of success stories just come from our own members being able to share their own business. So like I said, we really try to incorporate those in our meetups. So for example, Angela hosted something at her own office. She's a mortgage broker, and she was able to have the chance to talk about mortgages, to educate our members on mortgages. But then we also had our own time to each member to speak about their own business as well. So that just puts a little spotlight on her. We also had Cannoli King, one at Cannoli King, and Kathy Sina is a big part of Cannoli King. I know a lot of people didn't even know it was there because it's kind of hidden in the industrials in Port Coquitlam.
And it's like a little jewel right in there in Port Coquitlam that a lot of people discovered through that event.
Yeah, so it just allows us to go there and support those small businesses. So at that event, everyone was suggested to spend $15 at that event to attend that event, just as a donation, as a thank you. And then we were able to go sit up and enjoy our treats and hang out in the room that they have upstairs, which is an amazing space, and just network and do things like that. So I think that that's where the success stories come from, is just really businesses in the Tri-Cities able to have the spotlight on them and learning about the businesses as well as everybody networking at the same time.
I think we should also talk about Valentina. She is the owner of Eden West, and I know right now they had a flood.
Yeah.
And we're going towards Christmas, so we'll definitely be posting a lot of her online shopping options, because we were supposed to do an event there, but now it will be postponed to another time.
Yes.
But it's a lot of effort to bring the ladies together, create a community, and then sometimes big things like this happen. And she's located in the Tri-Cities in Port Moody. and it's really cute little cooking shop that it's so lovely to go there. But sometimes things like this happen, and we are going to be there to support each other.
Yeah, exactly. And just sharing, like I know she just shared that on our Business Wednesday post that she has 15% off cooking classes. So if we can all go and just support each other after we see those posts, that's awesome. Yeah.
So when the women like come in for the first time, do you have any tips or tricks or what to say? How can you guide them coming for the first time?
I always say, I mean, I said that in the beginning when I first started the group, was to come in, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your business. If you feel like you have a little bit of energy in you and you want to create a video, I always love seeing people's faces or even a photo, just so we know who you are. We know what your face looks like rather than having to click on your profile photo. And then maybe ask a question. So ask other people a question. Hey, what have you gotten out of the group so far? Or hey, when is the next event? Or something that's going to create some engagement. And then just take a look at our events tab so that you can see the events that we have coming up.
Mm-hmm. And we have to say, like, we're not getting paid for this.
No.
This is a complete community project, and there's a lot of work and time and that is put into this project. And every Wednesday, what do we do?
So every Wednesday we have a Small Business Wednesday post where you can basically either post underneath the post that we've made about your business, or privately on our actual group chat about your business, anything about your business at all. It could be a promotion, it could be a video, it could be anything about your business, so that it just allows us to learn some more about you and what you do.
Mm-hmm. And for anyone that is maybe a little bit too shy and doesn't want to come, is it possible to be not coming to event, or you encourage people to actually come to event?
I would say actually come, because there's lots of, if you want to be shy, then you can go to another group to be shy, and it's not discluding anybody, but I think like the sole purpose of our group is to come to an event and create that trust with people. So that's why we have like the 300 member cutoff, and I know we're going to be a little bit more serious about that coming up in the fall, because our first year was really about like gaining momentum. But I think I would say like just at least try to come to one. And if you have a friend that you want to bring with you who also has a business and who would be interested in joining, bring them to the event. Like that's a great way to also, you know, maybe if you're a little bit too shy to come to that event alone, just bring somebody with you.
Yeah, I think because specifically we have some event that's called Bring a Friend.
Yeah.
So it's great. You get to meet new people, and it's a lot about the women community meeting and making friends.
Exactly.
Yeah, keep making friends. Carlie, what are the hopes for the Vancouver Women in Business group?
I think just for our group to continue to get to know each other more. I know 1 year obviously is enough for people to slightly touch base, and kind of, we had some events slowly starting to come together. Then it was summer, and we don't really do a lot of events in the summertime. So I think it's just to like reconnect in this fall, and for everybody to attend events, keep posting on the Small Business Wednesdays, and keep inviting friends, like I said, that we know, to keep creating this community and having members be engaged. I think that's the biggest thing. Just keep on building that trust so that we can actually refer business to each other.
And be there for each other.
Yeah.
Yes. I think in business, it's quite different between women and between men.
Yes.
And I like the idea to be able to talk about business within women's.
Yeah.
Nothing against men's, but I do feel like it's definitely a safe space, and I felt really comfortable. And I like that you can just be yourself and talk about your business and find friends.
That's a valid point, because I think with men, they're never judged for what they do, or maybe they don't have the inside of fearing of being judged, but women always have that fear. So feeling comfortable is so important, I think.
Yeah, I think it's hard to find a good place that you are not going to be judged to talk about business.
Yes.
People will actually judge that quite fast. I feel like, oh, she just wants to sell me something. Sometimes you just want to talk about it. What you do, I'm interested. Let's ask questions. But it doesn't mean necessarily I'm not trying to have you as a client, but I just want to know, right? And then I feel that the space is safe for that, without
Yes.
thinking you being pressure into something. And to me, that's that's one of the big reasons I wanted to do this with you. It's hard to just go somewhere and be like, hey, I'm Genevieve from Tri-Cities Community Television. Do you want to come here? And I want to do an interview with you. And they're like, what? What's this? What? And then
Yeah.
it's complicated. It takes a bit of time, but in spaces and places like that, it's welcome. It's easier. It's flowy. It's easy. And then it's comfortable to be able to talk about business. And yeah, I didn't feel judged at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for everything you do, Carlie. And I'm happy to
Thank you
keep
for being
doing
part of it. Yeah.
to keep doing this beautiful, to keep contributing to this beautiful group. And I met some amazing people. I also met you because we didn't
Yes.
know each other.
You're my dental hygienist, but
Oh yeah, that's right.
yes.
But we didn't know each other
Yeah.
before that,
Yeah.
outside of me
No.
being your dental hygienist. Yeah,
Yes.
because when I'm not doing interviews here with Tri-Cities
Sure.
Community Television, I work as a dental hygienist.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
From the Tri-Cities Community Television and myself, Genevieve Kyle-Lefebvre, thank you so much for joining us today.